The Post then proceeds to make the common claim that the word homosexual was only added in 1946 as a result of American bigotry towards the homosexual community.
Hey everybody, this video is going to make some accurate points. It's going to make some inaccurate points based on identity politics. But I want to start by pointing out that the central claim that the word homosexuals was not used to render arsenokoitai until 1946, as far as I can tell, is 100% accurate. No one has ever produced an earlier translation that rendered homosexuals. The notion that that rendering is homophobic, I think, is also supported by the data, because arsenokoitai means something like men betters. And even if we take that to mean all male homosexual activity, it still only refers to male homosexual activity. It's also referring to the behavior, not a sexual orientation, because they had no clue about sexual orientation as something innate to a person in that time period. And so to say homosexual is to point to an identity. And that was not a possibility back then. So that rendering is inaccurate and does seem to be guided by homophobia.
All legitimate Bible scholars agree that Paul actually coined the word arsenokoitai from the Greek Septuagint, from Leviticus 18 and 20. He combines two different words, arsen, which means man, and koitai, which means bed. It's men who bed with other men.
So this accurately identifies where Paul got this word from, what its etymology is. It inaccurately makes a giant logical leap from this is a first century word that seemed to mean men betters to this is 100% transferable to homosexual activity in the 21st century. No data support that leap. The data indicate that Paul was condemning what was considered socially acceptable male homosexual behavior in first century CE Greece and Rome. And that behavior was between a higher class adult man and a lower class young man or boy. Is it possible that Paul would today condemn a loving, committed, consensual sexual relationship between two adult men who are married? Yeah, it's possible. It's plausible. But can we answer that question? Absolutely not. We do not have the data to answer that counterfactual historical question. We just don't. That is taking a perspective that developed within a certain situated sexual ethic and saying if we plant this in another sexual ethic in an entirely different situation, what sprouts will be the same result. That is not something we can answer. That's not scholarship. That's not based on the data. That is identity politics. That is defending an ideology. That is homophobia.
Boom.